Hi, and thanks for joining me today for another Saturday message. I hope you're having a terrific weekend and you're taking some time to find your joy, as always. Today's message is called It's Not You, It's Them. I know for the last few weeks I've talked about forgiveness and allowing the universe to guide you. And those things are absolutely, positively, 100% things you should make a habit. But there are those rare times when others, whether it's businesses, individuals, family, friends, whomever, decide that the word blame needs to be a part of the conversation and decide that before conclusions can be drawn, it's best to shift the responsibility to someone else rather to themselves. And all of us have experienced this at some point in our lives. It actually happens more often than you think. One example I have for this is a few weeks ago, we were attempting to log into the Disney app through Roku. And for some reason, it just wasn't going through. And the message just kept coming up. You need to check your network. You need to see something's wrong. Check your connection. Unplug your device and restart it. And if that doesn't work, then you need to contact your ISP. And it just dawned on me like, wow. And then to really make it drive home, Rascal suddenly started blaming herself. Well, she said, I must have done something wrong. Maybe I did not plug it in all the way. Maybe I didn't allow it to establish connection. And something just rose to me and said, stop. What are you doing? Why are you blaming yourself? Why are you letting someone else tell you that what is happening is your fault? Don't you have enough people and things that blame you for their shortcomings? Don't do it to yourself. And she looked at me kind of stunned, and I was kind of stunned too. So again, this is the inspiration for today's message. Especially when we're dealing with people whom we don't know, who are strangers or who provide services or things of that nature. The blame is easy to place. First of all, blame shouldn't be a word in your personal dictionary. Blame is an ugly word. And it always means that you're passing on the responsibility to someone for something that most of the time the individual or the business or so forth is really responsible for, but doesn't want to admit it, recognize it, or rectify the situation. So, first of all, don't use the word blame. This is just for descriptive purposes. But I know you've experienced this. You're trying to connect to something, you're attempting to do something, you're online, or you're maybe filling out a document or paperwork, or you're attempting to explain something to someone, and suddenly you're being told that you're wrong, you did it, and you need to correct it. And a lot of times you're simply awestruck because you don't know what happened. And you're positive that you've done nothing that could be construed as an error or mistake, or that you did anything wrong. But it's so easy for the world, when we're dealing with people that we don't know, to say, oh, it's you. It's not me, it's you. Well, guess what? I'm here to tell you, it's not you, it's them. And in these instances, it would be a good idea for you to remember that you are on a journey and a path where you're improving yourself, and you become more conscious of the words you speak and what you say to other people, and being empathetic, and when you're experiencing guilt, to address it immediately, and not only seeking forgiveness for yourself but asking for others. You're on a wonderful path, but that path does not require you to accept the blame for others' shortcomings, whether they're individuals or businesses. And again, it's so easy for others to do this when they don't know you and when you don't know them. So I want to share these 3 verses that I think really applies to the situation. And spiritually, laying blame and finding the fault being with others and not accepting responsibility is something that doesn't work well either. We're going to go to 1 John chapter 2, starting with verse 9 through 11. He that saith he is in the light, and hateth his brother, is in darkness even until now. He that loveth his brother abideth in the light, and there is none occasion of stumbling in him. But he that hateth his brother is in the darkness, and walketh in darkness, and knoweth not whither he goeth, because that darkness hath blinded his eyes. And a lot of times, when people are looking to lay blame or fault with others, they're blinded. They're blinded by a worry of what others may think. They're blinded by the impression that they're giving to people, and they want to be seen in a certain light. But there's nothing wrong with that. But you should not, others should not have to suffer at the expense of how you want to see yourself. That's something that should be worked out alone, personally, by you and for you. And it's amazing when I think about how almost every business says when things go wrong, it's you. It's your fault. You need to figure it out and work it out. It even happens when you call banks and credit card companies, and they'll tell you, oh, it's not us. You need to contact that service, or you need to contact that store, or you need to contact that person, and then get it straightened out. And you're like, but I'm calling you because I know that it's nothing wrong on their end. It's something that is happening, gone wrong internally. But it's so easy to do this when you don't know others. Well, guess what? One of the quickest ways to rectify this in yourself is to stop looking at everyone and other people that you don't know as an other or as a stranger. Start seeing everyone that you meet as an opportunity to make a new friend. And I know it sounds corny, but I don't care. I am now the type of person who speaks to others with ease, whether I've known them for 5 years or 5 minutes. And I start conversations easily with people I don't know. I've been known to see people who are clearly in distress and to walk up and to offer comfort, to hug them, and I don't know them. And I say this not because I want to be seen in a certain light, but I say this because it took me a while to get to where I am. There was fear for me at one point when I was younger, in worrying about what others thought of me. For example, if I tripped, I would look around to see who was looking, and I would be embarrassed and go, oh gosh, what's the person going to think of me? And then it just came to a point in my life where I tripped one day, and my subconscious was like, what are you worried about? Why do you care? Someone sees you trip, that doesn't make you any less of a person. And it was like the catalyst that started me on a journey to being the person I am today. If you practice this, it becomes not only easier to communicate and talk with others, but also to be open to allowing the gifts that you've been giving to bless others. A second way to do this is when you see these type of messages or things coming at you, immediately you go, I'm not going to take this personally. This has nothing to do with me. I just got here. This just happened. I know everything is in order. I know this has nothing to do with me. It's not me. It's you. And it is. And so our conscience lets us know immediately when we have done something that is just not right spiritually. I mean, occasionally you have the opportunity to make it right. But it seems for some reason that the vast majority are taught to blame others, to lay the blame before us on yourself. And one way this is seen a lot is when people are involved in accidents, vehicle accidents, and so forth. And the first thing that the insurance company says is not talk, don't admit blame, call them immediately so they can begin fixing everything, so they can begin repairing the damage. Well, again, when you have a conscience, you know when you're at fault. There's no one who has to tell you that you need to make it right if you listen to your conscience. And secondly, we also are fully aware when we know that we are not responsible for the things that are happening. And those are the times when you're not to allow others to place that blame word on you and the responsibility on you. These are the times when it's imperative that you stand up for yourself, and not in the way of being defensive or argumentative, but stating clearly, no, I know that all of my things are in order. I know that I have expressed myself clearly. I know that I have no ill will, and I know I want nothing but for this to be resolved so that I can move on. Or what can be done, I should say, to help this move along quickly. Sometimes, I hate to tell you, when it comes to businesses, they never will accept blame. And we've had that happen recently with a streaming company where they constantly told me that it was RSP, our computer, our connection. And a couple of times I tried to explain, everything else is working fine. So that can't be it, because if that were it, nothing would work. It's only your service that is not functioning properly. It's only your service that we can't get through to watch what we're paying for. And no matter what I said, it came back to it's you, it's your system, it's your property, blah, 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 blah. And then the solution was to go through a whole bunch of coding on our end that would have set up our internet connection not to function with anyone properly but this streaming service. And it's a possibility that even after we went through all of that coding, it still wouldn't work properly. So what did I do? I said, thank you so much for your time. I see this isn't going to be resolved with you. I wish you a good day. And if I have any more questions, I will give you a call back. Goodbye. And I politely hung up. I knew without a doubt it was them and not me. And when you are 100% sure, without a doubt, that you have done nothing to escalate or cause the problem, relax, have no ill will, and be confident and satisfied in the fact of knowing it's not you, it's them. Have you experienced any of these situations recently? Let me know in the comments below. And be sure to like and subscribe for more Saturday messages like this. If there's something you'd like me to talk about, let me know in the comments as well. But I know that you're going to have a fantastic day, and I know that you're on your way to greatness, the exact greatness that you desire. So, have a magnificent weekend. Talk to you soon. And remember, sometimes it really is not you, it's them. Bye now.